Hello, everybody. Welcome to Planet X News. This is Scott from the Nibiru channel, Nibiru Planet X 2016. Now, I know a lot of you have been wondering why we haven't been using the Nibiru channel YouTube channel. Well, several days ago, in order for me to protect myself from this massive smear campaign that was being conducted, spreading lies about me being a child molester, creating situations for my family members, security situations. The individuals behind all of this are just absolutely ruthless, and they are simply trying to stop the flow of information, and it's not going to happen. But anyways, I decided to make my own parody video defending myself. And I guess YouTube didn't like it. It was well within the policy guidelines, but yet they suspended uploads on my channel for 14 days. So we are waiting out that period. We are still uploading our videos. However, they are going to the Planet X News channel, and I'm sharing them on the Nibiru channel. Now, I've put this information out there, but we have other situations arising. Over the course of the last 5 days, I have received many emails from individuals telling me that they are getting unsubscribed from a lot of channels on YouTube. They are not getting notifications for videos and channels that they are subscribed to that have anything to do with this subject or conspiracy theories or alternative news. So there is once again this big push to shut people up. And that's wrong, and we know that. If you want to sit back and you want to consider information on Planet X, climate chaos, what's happening around the world, if you want to consider that fake news, then you go right ahead. But in the end, when the shit goes down, you're going to be left on your own. Nobody's going to want to help you. My message is very clear. It always has been, and it's not going to change. Preparation, sticking together, unity. We come together as one. We fight. This is what this world is about. It's always been a fight. The fight will continue. We shouldn't have to fight for our freedom. We shouldn't have to fight for the freedom of speech and thought and what we want to believe in. But unfortunately, we have to. So we're going to continue to upload videos to the Planet X News channel for the next several days. Once the suspension for uploading videos to the Nibiru channel is over, we will be back in full force. I have 6 YouTube channels, and we're going to be utilizing all 6 channels. I've put this information out several days ago, and all of the links to all of my channels are in the description box under the video, under this video. I have mentioned many times to take the time, go to this description box, click on the links, go to each one of these channels, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you set those notifications up properly. We have another situation brewing within the YouTube community, and it's just not me. It's a lot of other YouTube channels that are complaining. Subscribers are complaining that their notifications are being turned off and they are being unsubscribed to channels all across the YouTube platform. Anyone who has anything to do with, I'd say, any type of alternative news, Planet X investigations, anything that has to do with aliens, outer space, climate chaos, the weather, earthquakes, volcanoes. I mean, it's ridiculous. There have been several YouTube channels that have been very big on YouTube for years that are actually moving away from YouTube. But we're not going to be moving away from YouTube. No one is going to push us out the door because no one is going to suppress the information. We have avenues to get the information out there, and we are going to continue each and every day. making the push to get the information out. Now, over the last several days, I haven't been pushing out a lot of videos because I've been very busy. And what I've been busy with is very simply educating myself on more information pertaining to brown dwarfs. Now, the brown dwarf, as it's been called theoretically, nemesis, I don't really know who gave it that name. But over the last 4 days, I have uncovered a tremendous amount of information. I have educated myself, surrounded myself with some very educated people. I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people out there that are not going to like the idea of this happening. Well, all I could say is too bad. Too bad. This is what we're going to be doing. We're going to make an attempt, like we have been, of waking people up. I'll consider this the awakening. The awakening has begun. It has begun around the world on several different subjects. Not only Planet X. People are waking up to the aspect of climate chaos. People are going to be woken up pertaining to the presence of alien life outside of our solar system and alien life here on our planet. Now, I don't know if any of you are familiar with Mr. David Wilcock and Mr. Corey Goode, but they've uncovered a tremendous amount of information dealing with this alien life. And if you just go into your search engine on YouTube, type in David Wilcock. It's not Will Cox, David Wilcock. He's been on Ancient Aliens, fantastic speaker, very educated man, very gifted. And he talks about the ascension, the awakening. So you guys, little homework assignment. You go ahead and you look up David Wilcock, start listening to his conferences, his seminars, and this will really start opening up your eyes. But what I want to discuss today is what I've been doing. And I've been doing a tremendous amount of research on the possibilities of the brown dwarf situation in our solar system. People will tell you right to your face, they will lie to you with no education on this subject. And they will tell you that the presence of a brown dwarf star in our solar system is complete and utter crap. Well, that's a lie. That is a lie, 100%. Over the course of the last several days, I have involved myself in 4 lectures. These lectures were given by prestigious colleges here in the United States. Harvard University, Carnegie Mellon, Stanford. These universities, these schools, have impeccable astrophysics and physics departments and curriculum. Little did I know that these lectures are hosted on YouTube. They have been for the past 5 years. The research into brown dwarf stars has really taken over the entire physics neighborhood, class, community, society, whatever you want to call it. This has been going on now for about 10 years, but it's only been the last 5 years that they have actually come up with some very startling information. I sat through 9 hours of lectures, presentations, and scientific data, which was so boring I had to prop my eyelids open with toothpicks listening to these people. These are professors of physics and astrophysics These are very smart people. So therefore, I have to take what they are saying as being very, very credible. I'm not going to listen to some amateur astronomer on YouTube, nor will I listen to any debunker that tells me what is happening is not happening. What we're seeing in the skies and in photographs through telescopes or cameras is not happening, but in actuality, it is. Over the past 5 days, I have joined together with some very smart, educated people that are on board, and we are determined to find out what exactly is happening. You have to remember something. We have very limited resources as far as, what like NASA has and the space agencies around the world. And over the past couple of days, I have found so much information pertaining to the presence of brown dwarf stars around our solar system, outside of our solar system. The fact of the matter is, whenever you're listening to these lectures, you will hear these very smart individuals tell you that there is still a lot of information that they do not know. The reason being is they don't have access to the proper information that they need. Excuse me. What you're seeing on your screen right now is an artist's rendition of a very cold brown dwarf, an old brown dwarf. What I would like to know is, where does the artist get his view, his artist's rendition? Where does he get this view? I've seen many of these artists' renditions, but it makes you wonder how they're coming up with this. So once again, over the course of the last several days, I've attended and watched and fed my brain with as much scientific evidence and information as I possibly could. What I'm finding out is the astronomy community and the physics and astrophysics community, they know, I will say this, they actually know very little about brown dwarfs. Now, they have discovered white dwarfs, red dwarfs, and brown dwarfs aren't brown. It has something to do with I think a scientist or astrophysicist, some woman. I think her last name was Brown, and somehow it got named a brown dwarf, and they're not brown at all. Some of them are red, some of them are orangish in color, some of them are blue, what you're looking at on your screen. They make very, very many references to Jupiter. They use Jupiter as a benchmark for measuring the size of these brown dwarfs. Is Jupiter a failed star, a failed brown dwarf? I mean, what are they? They've been defined as in the middle of a planet and a star. And they have weather. They have weather like we have weather on Earth. They have cloud cover. Some of them have atmospheres. Most of them spew toxic clouds of iron, methane, and ammonia. And these are some of the ways that they are actually detecting these brown dwarfs. I've heard debunkers on YouTube with the most idiotic statements, stating to all of you, and here's their stupid statement: I have a big telescope, and if I can't see it, it doesn't exist. Well, excuse me. You don't have an education in astronomy, physics, or astrophysics. You're not a professor at a university. You haven't been teaching or researching for more than 20 years. You're a freaking YouTube troll on a mission under direction to stop the disclosure of the information. So get out of my face. Take a walk. Because now we are getting involved deeper and deeper with people who have beautiful minds. And when I refer to a beautiful mind, I'm talking about a very educated mind in a specific subject: physics, astrophysics, and astronomy. Now, astronomers, they're not going to talk too much about this. However, almost every major university and many in other countries have been investigating and researching brown dwarfs for the last 10 years, and they found a bunch of them. And they have noted here in the United States that as long as the money keeps coming in to the university to fund the research, they will continue. Well, that only told me one thing. I put all the pieces together. That's telling me that maybe the powers that be have placed funding out there for these universities to dig deeper because their scientists suck. So the more people you have on your team searching for information, sooner or later you're going to break the story wide open. But yet, they do not want to give these physicists and these astrophysicists the proper information to find the truth. They have stated that themselves in the lectures and the seminars in front of their own peers. At the end of each one of these lectures, there's a question and answer. The people that they are giving the lecture to are professional physicists, professors, and astrophysicists. So these are not students. These are professional people that are there for this research lecture for a reason. And they're just not people from the student body or the administration of the university. There are people coming from around the world. There are guest speakers coming from other countries with their research. And the bottom line, people, we are not going to be lied to anymore. And I'm getting sick and tired of getting the death threats from people who are just low-life scum. You want to kill me? You bring it to me. Go ahead and try. I got a death threat today in the comment section of a video. Some nutcase decided to make a comment that he wanted to take a knife and cut me wide open until my guts spew onto the ground. Well, buddy, let me tell you something. You give it your best shot. So people wonder why the comment sections on the videos get shut down. It's not because of me, because I have something, quote, to hide. I'm not hiding anything. But I do have concerns with people being abused in the comment section of these videos. I had an elderly lady the other day. Her name is Rose. Beautiful person. She was making some general comments, conversing with other people that had viewed the video. And we have these sickening, disgusting people in the comment sections calling them names, referring to women by the C word. You know what I mean? The four-letter word that everybody hates. Making threats to other viewers. That's ridiculous. But that's part of their program, ladies and gentlemen. Part of the program is to discourage each and every one of you from obtaining the information that you have every right to have. I can't speak for other YouTube channels and the information that they put out, and I will not sit here and criticize any of them. But what I have found out over the last 5 days is that, yes, we do have a very critical situation within our inner solar system and right outside of our solar system. Some of the information is so hard to grasp for the everyday run-of-the-mill individual like all of you. And that's not an insult. What I'm referring to is I put in many, many, many hours each and every day, 7 days a week, trying to educate myself, investigate, and research. So over the course of the last year, I have brought myself up to speed. I'm traveling at 100 miles an hour right now. My brain is on fire each and every day, seeking the information, reading the theories, and trying to get to the bottom of all of this. And sooner or later, it's all going to come out. How much time do we have? That's a little unknown. What's going on within our inner solar system? I'm getting a really, really good, broad idea of what's happening. And there will be people out there that will tell you Scott is crazy. Don't listen to him. He's spreading disinformation. He's lying to you. That is a lens flare. That is a camera anomaly. That is a reflection. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be very frank with you. There is a massive disinformation campaign being conducted right under your nose. Each and every day. The movies that are coming out for you to go watch and pay all your money, they're basically setting up your mind. They've been doing this for many, many years with movies like 2012, Independence Day, the movie San Andreas. They are placing all of this information, predictive programming, directly into your brain. And the bottom line is, we continue to fall for it because we're human beings. They kept us dumbed down for a long, long time. Well, I'm going to be very truthful with you. After the last 5 days of researching and speaking personally with some very, very educated people, I'm now coming to find out that we do have a threat in our solar system. And we do have some very serious things going on within our solar system that we need to pay very, very close attention to. There is a very high possibility that we have more than one brown dwarf in our solar system. There's a very high possibility. The one main brown dwarf that is in our solar system has been there for quite a long time. At least since possibly 2005, 2006, 2007, making its way from the fringes of our solar system directly towards the sun. Understanding the dynamics of how this occurs is very mind-boggling. It has been explained to me in very in-depth detail. And the information will, it will blow your mind how this all occurs. One of the main theories is the positioning of our solar system in our galaxy. Now we're really starting to get broad on these theories and these ideas. It is being said now that over the past 100 years, the actual position of our solar system in our galaxy is placing us moving towards the center of our galaxy, therefore experiencing things that the Earth has never gone through in billions of years. It's like walking down a street that you've never been on before, and you don't know what is at the end of the block. But you're experiencing all kinds of new things. And the fact of the matter is, we're on that street. There's been a lot of talk about Zecharia Sitchin, Robert Harrington, Carlos Ferrada, all of these theories. But we're going back a long time where technology wasn't as it is today, and we've actually moved further, and these objects have gotten closer. So, a lot of the evidence that is being put forth is showing for a fact that there is a very large brown dwarf star, a very old brown dwarf, that at one point in time was very, very cold. And it made its way into our solar system. Whether its name is Nemesis, whether it has planets revolving around it, such as Nibiru, Arbato, and Helion, and other moons, that has yet to be proven. One thing is for sure, is there is a large, now interplanetary body in our solar system affecting the sun. These objects are very, very powerful magnetically. They are attracted to our star, the sun. These celestial bodies are almost invisible. And when you say that, you think to yourself, wow, this guy's crazy. He's stupid. He's nuts. He's feeding us a line of garbage. But in fact, these bodies, these brown dwarfs, they do not emit any light whatsoever. So therefore, they're dark, they're cold, and you cannot see them. Now, what I've learned over the past several days is with some new technology over the past 10 years, they are able to identify these objects by some of the compositions that are being spewed from these dwarf stars. Methane, ammonia. No reference to helium. And after listening to these 9 hours of lectures, my God, I feel like I could give my own lecture. But they are finding a lot of these red dwarfs and brown dwarf stars. Now, going back 5 years ago, physicists, astrophysicists, they thought I'll just use the word, the composition of a brown dwarf, they thought all of them were the same. And they couldn't change. But now, as of recently, a lecture at Cornell University, prestigious school, they have now found out that they were wrong. And they brought forth the evidence that an old and cold brown dwarf star can change if it has direct interaction with a helium or hydrogen sun, such as ours. And it gets close enough, it starts to produce this magnetic portal connection where it literally is sucking the energy from this large star, our star, damaging our star, causing our star to go dark. In the meantime, it is now regaining energy that it had millions of years ago. And guess what? It now starts to emit its own light again. What are we seeing out in the distance near our sun? Are we seeing the brown dwarf? Highly possible. Are we seeing other objects that have been sucked in by this garbage can? And that's exactly what these objects are. They do have the ability to attract, like a magnet, other objects. They really don't interfere with planets that are gas giants without an iron core. But traveling through distant space, Lord only knows what they pick up and what they are bringing to us. The compositions of these red dwarfs and brown dwarfs are very, very similar, but ladies and gentlemen, they have the ability to change as they get closer to a star, a big star like ours. And there are billions of stars in the galaxy and in the universe that are just like ours. And we almost live in the perfect situation in our solar system. And I've taken some webcam photographs, and this one here that you're seeing, this came from Bondi Beach, Australia, well, maybe 2 months ago. I presented these photographs and some of the other photographs that I've taken and that have been sent in to me. I presented these to a professional physicist, professor, who's been doing their own research on what's happening, in-depth research. And they were speechless because if you look at this object, you see the same striped pattern that you just saw on this photograph and this photograph. So you can clearly see, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that there is something behind our sun within the distance, and there is a very high possibility that there are other objects in association with this brown dwarf. Is it actually the planet Nibiru? I can't say 100%, because I'm going to be honest, I'm starting to think that a lot of mistakes were made back in the early 1980s and the 1990s. I just think a lot of information was just a lot of mistakes were made dealing with this subject. I think some mistakes were made by Zecharia Sitchin and the translation of the Sumerian tablets, because he was dealing with ancient people who were seeing things in the sky. They didn't have technology like we have today. The same thing applies to the ancient writings of the Chinese going back 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 years ago. Biblical prophecy. We're dealing with ancient people that had no technology. And things have changed. If in fact we have a planetary body of some kind in some type of a long orbit where it does come in and out of our solar system, it will have the ability to pick up this other garbage and bring it right into us. Read some information today on a rogue star that came through our solar system 70,000 years ago and wreaked havoc as it came in and went out. But something's very clear. There is a pattern. We've seen the pattern. But I think when these situations occur, they're not always the same. They just couldn't be. Each and every time, something different is occurring. Earth may possibly be in the right place at the wrong time, or our planet is in the wrong place at the wrong time. We're coming up with evidence, scientific evidence, not from a 10-cent cell phone camera, but very critical evidence that there is a possibility that several of these smaller red dwarf stars have moving closer. What type of a threat they pose to our planet, I don't know. But one thing is for sure, we're going to find out. Now, the powers that be, they don't want you to know what is happening because they would lose all control over the people, therefore keeping us, once again, dumbed down, because the people would rise up and they would want to know what is happening. What is happening in our solar system? There's a ton of credible evidence out there. I'm going to be working very close with several individuals from this point on. They're not afraid of the threats. I'm not afraid of the threats. If they wanted me dead, I would have been dead a long time ago. It's been brought to my attention that everything that we do is monitored. Okay, that's fine. Monitor everything that you want. But all we're doing is we're helping in the research that everyone else around the world has been conducting for many, many years. Now they're involving, for the past 10 years, colleges and universities around the world. I listened to one guest speaker coming all the way from Ireland. Very nice lady, very smart. She's done extensive research in brown dwarfs. But the money, they've all admitted that if the money, the grants, stop flowing in, then they won't be able to continue the research. But that's not going to happen. These people are going to be fed the money to continue the research because I believe that NASA is busy doing other things, scrambling, running to figure out what the hell are they going to do. What are going to be the effects of all of this on our planet? It's mind-boggling. But it's very easy to sit in your chair, watch these videos, critique the information, but really not doing the amount of research that I try to do. I can't speak for other YouTube channels that, they put up their information on Planet X, Nibiru, Nemesis. There's a lot of things that we don't know, ladies and gentlemen, but there are some definite things that we know. What do these brown dwarfs cause when they enter a solar system? Wow. They do cause damage. The closer they get, the first thing that they cause damage to would be passing by close enough to a planet. But if that planet is a gas giant without a molten iron core, well, there's not too much damage that's going to occur to that gas giant. If they pass by a planet such as ours, with a heavy magnetic field, iron core, there will be a magnetic attraction. That's just common sense. You don't need a physics degree to figure that out. We've all played with magnets before. We all know that magnetism is a very strong force. So anyways, once these objects get close to a host sun, such as ours, and I use the word host like a parasite, if you just think, what does a parasite do when it obtains a host? Well, it feeds off of it. And once it feeds off of it, what happens? It gets stronger. It gets bigger. This is what's happening. If any of you pay attention to what's happening with our sun, you can clearly see that damage is being done. The amount of coronal holes opening on the sun, it's damaging the sun. It's sucking the energy from the sun. If you think this is a load of garbage, then don't watch any more of these videos. Don't feed yourself with this information. Take a walk. Take a walk. But in the end, after you take that walk, you're going to be taking a walk down a lonely road because you're going to wish that you continue to take the opportunity to feed your mind, increase your knowledge, and try to get to the truth. Once again, I'll be very frank with you. The truth is not going to save your life because we don't know exactly what is going to happen. I don't have a crystal ball. If I did, I'd be polishing that sucker every day to try to help humanity. I guess this is my way of living out what life I have left and giving it back in the form of trying to investigate this subject. Ooh, kill me. Smear me all over. Create lies about me. I don't care. That stuff doesn't bother me. But what bothers me is when people come to my YouTube channels to gain the information and they are abused. I will stick up for each and every one of them. And if I have to fight, I will fight, whether it be physically or mentally. YouTube wants to shut us all down. Go right ahead. There are other avenues of getting the information out there. I'm not going to stop. And the people that I am now involved with, they're not going to stop either. The disinformation campaigns can continue to the point where hell freezes over. We're going to get to the point where none of that matters anymore. The only thing that's going to matter is self-preservation and survival. So all of the pathetic people out there that are involved in this disinformation smearing campaign, I have some words for you people. When it's all said and done, the scum that you work for, they're going to leave you out in the cold. You're not going to get a ticket to the golden bunker. What you're going to get is the door slammed in your face. And guess where you're going to be? You're going to be right out there with me and everybody else. And they're probably going to eat you. All of the trolls out there know I love barbecue. I've made jokes about barbecuing the trolls. But when we don't have any food left and the trolls are running around, well, we may have to barbecue a few of them with some sweet baby rays. But the bottom line is, people, we need to continue to try to find out what is happening. Listen, everyone around the world, whether you live in a modern country or a third world country, whether you are highly educated or not, you can see what is happening around the globe. Wintertime has turned into spring. Spring has turned into summer. Ocean temperatures higher and higher every year. Rogue storms coming out of nowhere. Rogue waves smashing into shorelines while beachgoers are just having a good old time. Earthquakes out of control. Volcanic activity everywhere. 35 volcanoes spewing their lava. Thank God that's happening, because if we didn't have that release of pressure, we would probably have more catastrophic earthquakes. Speaking of earthquakes, you know, there's some very credible information coming out right now that the earthquake reporting agencies around the globe are downplaying the magnitude of earthquakes that's being released to the public. Every single one of them. Keeping all of the earthquakes under a magnitude 5. Well. Removing information from these websites that we monitor. Taking information down from websites that we monitor. Oh, all of a sudden, it needs maintenance. Okay, tell me another one. Our magnetosphere? Yeah, it's getting pretty damaged. We're getting blasted every single day with radiation, solar winds coming from coronal holes from the sun. When I asked the specific question about these coronal holes and why so many of them are occurring on the sun, the professional answer was given to me that one of the main causes would be something like a brown dwarf star sucking the energy from the sun. This connection that has been made is damaging for our sun, but good for a brown dwarf because it regains energy. Listening to these lectures, the one from Harvard 4 years ago, they discovered that these brown dwarf stars have actual weather, clouds, storms, and they keep referring to Jupiter. Some formulas have been put forth that, they're placing this object to be almost twice the size of the planet Jupiter. The other objects, they haven't gauged the actual size of these objects just yet. All of a sudden, you have these actors who come out and portray themselves as top-notch astronomers and astrophysicists, but in all actuality, they're just actors. Spokesmen. And did you ever wonder why? With everything going on around the world, why are we not having more and more NASA press conferences? I would think they would be out there on the platform every freaking week with a public statement. But we don't hear anything. Last year, they opened up the Space Weather Office in Washington, D.C. Well, what the hell is that? Some kind of storefront? We haven't heard one word from this new governmental agency. Not a damn word. But yet, we have a massive coronal hole opening on the sun just about every single week. Our planet is being blasted with solar wind and radiation every single day. I think these subjects coincide with working at the federal government's Space Weather Office. Does that office even exist? Do people work there? If so, what are their backgrounds? Who are they? Why are they not holding press conferences? Why are they not telling us what's going on? Why are they not warning us? All we hear in the media is the politics of our country. Trump this, Trump that, Obama this, Obama that, Congress this, Congress that, blah, blah, blah. Well, they just want to keep you in the loop, keep your attention span on, what's the word I'm looking for? Drama. That's basically what it is. It's like a soap opera. But in all actuality, ladies and gentlemen, we have another soap opera in our solar system that could potentially be, I hate to say it, but life-threatening. We're already seeing loss of life with flooding, landslides, mudslides, earthquakes. I mean, what's that? These are human beings, living, breathing human beings. But I'm sure if it was one of your family members that was caught up in one of these climate chaos situations, you'd be jumping up and down. Why me? Why me? See, we're not being given choices. Somebody's just painting this picture for us to look at. And the picture's fake. It's as fake as a $3 bill. My suggestion to all of you is to start standing up for yourself, joining together to try and help in any possible way that you can. When you discuss this matter with your friends and your family, they tend to look at you like you're nuts. This goes back to the 50s and 60s and 70s when maybe you saw a UFO, you were scared to say something about it because people would think you're nuts. But now, seeing a UFO or an unidentified flying object of any kind, hey, that's cool. Did you get any pictures? They don't even investigate UFOs anymore because they already know. They've known for a very, very long time. There's all kind of crazy things going on in the Antarctic. That's all being leaked out every single day. What's been going on down there? I wanted to get into divulging some of this information, but, you'll get blasted for it. The smear campaign will come out. Bottom line is, there are all kinds of things going on in our solar system, around our solar system, and on our planet. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this planet that we call Earth, this is where we live. Are we able to protect it? Yeah, maybe in some ways. Has mankind gone too far with technology? Probably. Has mankind gone too far with trying to destroy mankind? Most definitely. Always the threat of war looms over the heads of everyone on this planet. But if you think about it, nuclear war doesn't make any sense, and there are no winners. However, they want to keep that fear instilled in you. So don't worry about nuclear war anymore. All of these countries are friends. They're all buddy-buddy. Smoke and mirrors, baby. Smoke and mirrors. That whack job that's over there in, North Korea or wherever the hell he's at, he's probably a nice guy. They talk so much crap on Vladimir Putin, but yet, hey, none of us know him personally. Everybody talks crap on Donald Trump. We don't know him personally. We only see what we're being fed. We're being spoon-fed, gagged with this information in the media every day. So you tend to believe it. I don't believe any of it. I don't see any credible information. Excuse me. I see no credible information out there other than media bliss, garbage. We have bigger problems to worry about that is looming in our inner solar system. If you have a better idea or a better theory, then bring it. But don't come to me and tell me that you know for a fact that there is nothing in our inner solar system, such as a brown dwarf, because you've seen the evidence. I had some crackpot tell me the other day he has seen the information, and the information is telling him that there's nothing there. I asked, okay, can you present me with this information? Can you prove it? Conversation over. Over. No debate, nothing. You want to produce some mathematics that haven't been checked out by an actual physics department with professional mathematicians, but yet you want to put forth your spreadsheet and expect me to believe that? Somebody needs to bend them over their knee and give you a whooping for lying. You want to go make some stupid debunking videos, and you want to go make some stupid parody videos smearing people that are simply trying to find the truth? Hey, more power to you, buddy. Go waste more of your time. Sit in your little garbage-infested apartment and do what you got to do. If all of you want to continue being dumbed down, then you go right ahead. Remember when your parents used to tell you not to do something because you're going to get hurt? And if you get hurt, don't come crying to me. My mom used to say that to me all the time. If you hurt yourself, don't come crying to me. Oh, and I did. My mom said, don't climb the tree. What did Scott have to do? Climb the tree. What happened? Scott slipped, fell, broke his arm. Yep, went crying to my mom. Well, she was a very compassionate woman. God rest her soul. But the fact of the matter is, there are going to be tens of millions of you that are going to be saying the same thing. Don't come crying to me when you want food, water, and shelter. There will be people that will turn their back on you, and then there will be the loving, human-natured individuals that will give you their food and their water and shelter. Don't fall for the disinformation campaign that is being conducted out there each and every waking minute of the day. If you do, you're going to regret it. I can tell you that much. I can guarantee you, you will regret it. Don't feel dumb about making preparations. Be smart about it. Make sure that you are protecting yourself and your family. We have a very critical situation, once again, brewing in the state of California. Do you understand, ladies and gentlemen, what would happen to the food supply if the state of California, the Central Basin, gets flooded by the snow melt that's occurring, the wild weather, the issue with Oroville Dam and many other dams, lakes, and reservoirs? If that Central Valley gets flooded, we're screwed. We're screwed. That will basically ricochet from one end of this country to the other in a matter of hours. Just take, for instance, walking into a store to pick up a product, a food product that has to be made with other products. Well, say, for instance, you lose one of the main products that you need to make this. Then guess what? Your favorite food in the grocery store will not be on the shelf. You have to start thinking a little bit deeper about what's happening. We've all felt the crunch of the oil and gas crisis. Oh, yeah, there's problems over in the Middle East. Gasoline prices go sky high. Okay. Well, just think about this. Think about if there's an issue with crops around the world. What do you think is going to happen when you walk into the grocery store and the shelves are empty? Who's going to feed you? I know where you're going to go. You're going to go right to the FEMA camp. They're going to be there, standing there, salivating, waiting for you to say, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I need medical attention, and I need shelter. And when you walk across that threshold, you are done. You're done. You're now one of them. If you don't believe me, people, do the research. It's all staring each and every one of us in the face every single day. It gets me upset. It gets me fired up because there are people out there trying to help with this awakening, bringing a higher sense of consciousness. It's not that hard. These trolls tell you, oh, don't be so naive. Scott's a liar. He's in this for the money. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I put in a minimum of 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. The other day, I was up from 3 o'clock in the morning till 9 p.m. at night. In depth, on the phone, making calls, having conversations, doing research, and trying to dig. Can any of you say that? Maybe, maybe not. Do you have the time to do what I'm doing? Probably not. You probably all have careers, jobs, family, and responsibilities. Well, listen, I've dedicated myself to what I'm doing. You're either on my team or you're on the opposing team. I don't think there is any middle ground. You're either going to fight for the good of mankind, or you are going to step on through to the other side and walk straight into the path of evil. At which point in time, they'll just eat you. Because all you're going to be is a servant. Do you think that you're actually going to be respected and taken care of? You're not. They'll eat you. They'll use you. They'll abuse you. You'll become a slave. Is that what you want with the rest of your life? Are you that weak that you can't stand up and fight for something? I'm going to stand up and I'm going to fight as long as it takes and as long as I have it in me. But I too need some help. I need the help from you people. You, the viewers, the subscribers. I need your help. We're going to be producing some very scientific information. It may seem boring to you because, it may not involve a bunch of pictures scrolling across your screen, historical stories, biblical stories. What we're going to try to do is we're going to try to break open through to the other side. And we're going to try to actually find the real truth. I don't give two shits about YouTube views. Because I already know that my YouTube channel is being censored. We've already dug into it. I have over 51,000 subscribers, but yet a YouTube video of mine uploaded to my channel gets no more than 15 to 20,000 views. Why is that? Well, very simply. Most of the European countries and countries from around the world, well, the information is being censored, so they can't see it. They're not getting the notifications. They have to find other means to get to the YouTube channel. And ladies and gentlemen, this is going to happen to you very quickly. It's already in the beginning phases. If you can't see that, then you need to take the blinders off, clean your glasses, wipe off your eyes, and figure it out. We're going to keep on trying to get this credible information, the scientific information, each and every day. If you don't like what we're presenting, then don't watch the videos. But I think if you do that, you're going to make a very critical mistake. We don't really know if we're going to be able to come up with a timeline because our backs are against the wall as far as the real deep scientific information that only the powers that be know about. They have control of the spacecraft, the satellites, the telescopes. Not us. They have it. We're just scratching the surface of what's actually happening. Be a fighter. Don't lay down. Stand up. Awaken yourself. Don't be a fool and think that there is nothing going on, because there is. The bigger picture, it's staring you right in the face. When you live in an area where you definitely have a seasonal change, you know, winter, spring, summer, and fall. Okay, well, when it was winter time and you're running around, it's 60 degrees and you have shorts on. You're almost ready to go out to the golf course. And then there are people in other countries that should be having summertime. Whoa, they're getting inundated with crazy weather also. Snowing in places where it doesn't snow. And the people are suffering because never in their lifetime did they see this, so therefore they're not prepared for those types of situations. I don't know if any of you are seeing all of the massive flooding that is occurring around the world, killing people. Wake up. Sign of the times, man. It is a sign of the times. I opened up another YouTube channel. I named it that. Sign of the times. Get in the description box of this video or any of my videos. Go through the links. Subscribe to those channels. Set notifications up to those channels because we are going to be uploading and recording and having live presentations on every single one of those channels. All 6 of them. And again, over the course of the next few days, weeks, and months, for however long we can withstand what we're doing, we're going to continue to bring you as much scientific proof. Some of it may be in the form of a theory, but that's what science is about. You're bringing forth scientific theory and hoping that you can place factual evidence into these theories. But just because some debunker on YouTube tells you that he knows for a fact that nothing is happening and nothing is wrong, ladies and gentlemen, if you believe that idiot, then when it all comes down to tragic situations around this globe, you're going to walk around with some very, very serious regrets. And you're not going to have that individual standing in front of you to take the blame. Because these people are also fake. They have been placed into this situation. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, let me make some real clear sense to you right here. As big as YouTube is around the world, why are there only a small little handful of Planet X debunkers? Several of them sound very smart. They have cute accents. They do want you to think they have some credibility based on their education. But in actuality, they are the wolves in sheep's clothing. You go ahead and subscribe to their channel. You go right ahead and support them. Pat them on the back. Kiss them on the cheek. But in the end, they're going to drive that stake right into your heart. Do you think at any given time, any one of these individuals will stand up for you individually and fight for you? If you think so, you better think again. They are here to deceive you. The deception is making its way around the world over and over and over again, each and every minute of the day. That is their job. Do you actually think that these individuals would dedicate all of this time and this harassment just to be on YouTube debunking videos? Or do you think that is a job that was assigned to them? Dig into it. Look into it. And the awakening will begin. You'll start to see that these people are fake. This is an agenda that they were assigned to. Why would someone send me death threats? Because I have a YouTube channel, does that warrant sending me death threats? Leaving a comment in the comment section of one of my videos telling me that they would like to stab me and cut me wide open till my guts pour out on the street. Because I have a YouTube channel that investigates the theory of Planet X and what's happening in our inner solar system. Do I deserve to have my guts spewed onto the floor? Wow. If you think so, then you're one of them. And if that's the case, get the hell off my channel. Stop wasting other people's time. Go jump in bed with the devil. See where that gets you. It's going to get you a whole world of hurt. So, once again, we will be back to uploading videos on the Nibiru Planet X 2016 YouTube channel in a couple of days. And then we are going to continue to have live streams on Planet X News. I have a personal channel of mine. It's already up and running on YouTube. I called it The Zone. You are in the zone. And we're going to be discussing a lot of controversial subjects, but they're not going to involve this crappy politics and things of that nature. I also have another YouTube channel that deals with Earth and space, weather. And I also have another YouTube channel dedicated to the sign of the times. We're going to try to keep up with everything going on around the world. We are going to stay up on our toes, firmly on our feet. If you want to be part of it, the door is open. We welcome you. If you don't want to be part of it, like I said, stay the hell off of my channel. Don't leave me death threats. Because I know for a fact that they're just simple threats. But stay tuned. Stay tuned. That is the best advice that I could give each and every one of you, is stay tuned. There will be more to come each and every day. For the next several days, we will continue to upload videos to the Planet X News channel. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you check your settings. If you don't see a video on a daily basis, then go to the channel on your own. Look for a new video that's been uploaded. We all know how to do it. Keep yourself in the loop. Don't believe the disinformation that's being put forth, because if you do, you're going to regret it. This is Scott from the Nibiru channel. Thank you for listening. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Planet X News. This is Scott from the Nibiru channel, Nibiru Planet X 2016. Now, I know a lot of you have been wondering why we haven't been using the Nibiru channel YouTube channel. Well, several days ago, in order for me to protect myself from this massive smear campaign that was being conducted, spreading lies about me being a child molester, creating situations for my family members, security situations. The individuals behind all of this are just absolutely ruthless, and they are simply trying to stop the flow of information, and it's not going to happen. But anyways, I decided to make my own parody video defending myself, and I guess YouTube didn't like it. It was well within the policy guidelines, but yet they suspended uploads on my channel for 14 days. So we are waiting out that period. We are still uploading our videos. However, they are going to the Planet X News channel, and I'm sharing them on the Nibiru channel. Now, I've put this information out there, but we have other situations arising. Over the course of the last 5 days, I have received many emails from individuals telling me that they are getting unsubscribed from a lot of channels on YouTube. They are not getting notifications for videos and channels that they are subscribed to that have anything to do with this subject or conspiracy theories or alternative news. So there is once again this big push to shut people up. And that's wrong. And we know that. If you want to sit back and you want to consider information on Planet X, climate chaos, what's happening around the world, if you want to consider that fake news, then you go right ahead. But in the end, when the shit goes down, you're going to be left on your own. Nobody's going to want to help you. My message is very clear. It always has been, and it's not going to change. Preparation, sticking together, unity. We come together as one. We fight. This is what this world is about. It's always been a fight. The fight will continue. We shouldn't have to fight for our freedom. We shouldn't have to fight for the freedom of speech and thought and what we want to believe in. But unfortunately, we have to. So we're going to continue to upload videos to the Planet X News channel for the next several days. Once the suspension for uploading videos to the Nibiru channel is over, we will be back in full force. I have 6 YouTube channels, and we're going to be utilizing all 6 channels. I've put this information out several days ago, and all of the links to all of my channels are in the description box under the video, under this video. I have mentioned many times to take the time, go to this description box, click on the links, go to each one of these channels, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you set those notifications up properly. We have another situation brewing within the YouTube community, and it's just not me. It's a lot of other YouTube channels that are complaining. Subscribers are complaining that their notifications are being turned off and they are being unsubscribed to channels all across the YouTube platform. Anyone who has anything to do with, I'd say, any type of alternative news, Planet X investigations, anything that has to do with aliens, outer space, climate chaos, the weather, earthquakes, volcanoes. I mean, it's ridiculous. There have been several YouTube channels that have been very big on YouTube for years that are actually moving away from YouTube. But we're not going to be moving away from YouTube. No one is going to push us out the door because no one is going to suppress the information. We have avenues to get the information out there, and we are going to continue each and every day. making the push to get the information out. Now, over the last several days, I haven't been pushing out a lot of videos because I've been very busy. And what I've been busy with is very simply educating myself on more information pertaining to brown dwarfs. Now, the brown dwarf, as it's been called theoretically, nemesis, I don't really know who gave it that name. But over the last 4 days, I have uncovered a tremendous amount of information. I have educated myself, surrounded myself with some very educated people. I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people out there that are not going to like the idea of this happening. Well, all I could say is too bad. Too bad. This is what we're going to be doing. We're going to make an attempt, like we have been, of waking people up. I'll consider this the awakening. The awakening has begun. It has begun around the world on several different subjects. Not only Planet X. People are waking up to the aspect of climate chaos. People are going to be woken up pertaining to the presence of alien life outside of our solar system and alien life here on our planet. Now, I don't know if any of you are familiar with Mr. David Wilcock and Mr. Corey Goode, but they've uncovered a tremendous amount of information dealing with this alien life. And if you just go into your search engine on YouTube, type in David Wilcock. It's not Will Cox, David Wilcock. He's been on Ancient Aliens, fantastic speaker, very educated man, very gifted. And he talks about the ascension, the awakening. So you guys, little homework assignment. You go ahead and you look up David Wilcock, start listening to his conferences, his seminars, and this will really start opening up your eyes. But what I want to discuss today is what I've been doing. And I've been doing a tremendous amount of research on the possibilities of the brown dwarf situation in our solar system. People will tell you right to your face, they will lie to you with no education on this subject. And they will tell you that the presence of a brown dwarf star in our solar system is complete and utter crap. Well, that's a lie. That is a lie, 100%. Over the course of the last several days, I have involved myself in 4 lectures. These lectures were given by prestigious colleges here in the United States. Harvard University, Carnegie Mellon, Stanford. These universities, these schools, have impeccable astrophysics and physics departments and curriculum. Little did I know that these lectures are hosted on YouTube. They have been for the past 5 years.